With Elestral's newest set, Moonrise, now out, Tornagin is legal for play. Most people have been writing this card off, not really thinking much of it, but I saw potential, so I figured I'd start brewing up a deck list for it. So today, I'm bringing you Solar Genie. To start off the deck, we have 2 copies of Windjin. A 3/1 Wind Elestral that says when this Windjin receives 1 or more Wind Spirit, you can name a card, then foretell 3. If 1 or more cards with that name are foretold this way, you can add 1 to your hand and special ascend this Windjin into Tornagin from your hand or deck. Now to pair with our Windjin, we'll be playing 1 copy of Tornagin. Tornagin is an 8/2 Wind and Solar Elestral that says you can expend 1 Wind or 1 Solar in order to search your deck for 3 cards with different names. If you do, add 1 at random to your hand and shuffle the rest into your deck. This is perfect for finding any card that you might need for the given situation. Either just slap down 3 Ambrosias or 3 removal spells to guarantee you're getting whatever you want, and Tornagin is a perfect toolboxing Elestral. And if you don't feel as though you need his ability, you can always easily double misenchant this with Water and Frost to avoid both Tsunami and Cryoblast. Our next Elestral is 3 copies of Kakare. Kakare is a 4/1 Solar Elestral that says this Kakare cannot be suppressed. When you activate First Light, you can special ascend this Kakare into Drakeray from your hand or deck. Now this is a weirdly good consistency piece for the deck, considering we already want to run First Light for Kakare's ability. So if we have a Kakare down, we use First Light to activate its ability, we can easily know what is on top of our deck, so we can play Windjin and turbo out multiple 2-drop Elestrals in a single turn. To go with our Kakare and to simply work as a fantastic 2-drop, we'll be playing 2 copies of Drakeray. Drakeray is a 7/3 Solar and Fire Elestral that says when you cast this Drakeray, you can return up to 3 Solar Spirits from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. During your draw phase, you can expend 1 Fire in order to special ascend this Drakeray into Dragalis from your deck. Now we're not playing Dragalis at all, so the second portion of its ability is irrelevant, but being able to heal 3 whenever you ascend is extremely strong, let alone the fact that it's on a 7 attack body. The next Elestral we'll be playing is 3 copies of Lumaru, a 5/2 Solar Elestral that says when this Elestral destroys an opponent's Elestral in battle, that opponent must send the top 3 cards of their deck to their Underworld. This is fantastic against other Solar Foretell strategies, or possibly Argo strategies to disrupt their artifacts that are in their deck. Also, Lumaru is just a great 5-attack beater, which is the main reason why it's in the deck. Our next Elestral is 3 copies of Sorlet, a 5/1 Wind Elestral that says you can expend Wind in order to change the position of an Elestral unless it's Wind enchanted. This is fantastic for beating over 1-drop Elestrals. I've been running Sorlet over Eddy in most spots due to the fact that Galaxy has been very prominent, and this does not get shut down by Galaxy, while Eddy does most of the time. We're playing 1 copy of Elechick, a 4/1 Thunder Elestral that says when you normal cast this Elechick, you can search your deck for a Divine Rune and add it to hand. Now you can either grab your Apollo that will be playing to fuel your Windjin shenanigans, or you can grab Zeus and use Elechick as a 7-attack 1-drop. Either way, Elechick is a fantastic Elestral that is limited to 1 for a reason. And last but not least, we have 3 copies of the most bannable bunny, Astro Rabbit. With its big booty and its fantastic ability to allow you to search the top 3 cards of your deck and pick the one that's most advantageous for the situation, Rabbit is a staple that will stay in decks for time to come. Before we continue the video, I do want to remind everybody that I will be giving away a Reverse Stellar Exaltus at 100 subs. All you have to do is like the video and subscribe to the channel, and you will be entered to win this beautiful card. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. To start off our runes, we'll be running 2 copies of Apollo. The Solar Divine Rune that says when you cast this Apollo, you can enchant up to 3 solar to it. You can disenchant 1 solar from this Apollo in order to foretell 3 and add 1 solar Elestral foretold this way to your hand. This is great for stacking the deck for your Windjin to make sure that you can easily call out what you want, what you're looking for. Not only that, you can easily find 1-drop solar Elestrals that you want to have in your hand with Apollo, and you can also guarantee what your draws will be for the next turn. Apollo is a great card in this deck. Next up, we have 1 copy of Zeus. Zeus is kind of the best divine in the game and played in almost every single deck that I've put together, so I'm not really going to spend too much time on it, but if you're not familiar with Zeus, just pause the video and read what he does. We'll be playing 1 copy of Cryoblast. Cryoblast is a 1-cost Frost Invoke rune that says target an Elestral that is not Frost enchanted until the end phase. Give it -2 defense, and when that Elestral hits 0 defense, you must destroy it. This is fantastic for destroying 1-drop Elestrals that have high attack due to the fact that they almost always have a low stat line. However, we're only playing 1 because with Galaxy being very prominent and also the self-mill deck that's out being very prominent now, this is going to be a lot less effective than it has been in other decks. We'll be playing 1 copy of Earthquake because unconditional removal is always great, and the ability... We'll be playing 1 copy of Resting on Your Laurels. We're playing this because it's extremely strong and cheap removal that allows you to easily come back in games that you're behind in. And we have 2 copies of First Light, a 1-cost solar invoke rune that says you can search your deck for a solar Elestral and put it on the top of your deck. This pairs well with both our Windjin shenanigans because we can easily put whatever we want on the top so we can call it, and it also works with our Cock Array in order to hard ascend into Drake Array. So this is a great card to put in the deck. To finish off our invoke runes, we'll be running 3 copies of Ambrosia because healing is extremely busted in this game since everything in the game costs your life, so Ambrosia will pretty much always be included as a 3-of in every single deck. Moving on to the counter runes, we have 3 copies of Gorgon's Gaze to shut down anything an opposing Elestral might even think about doing. We have 3 copies of Poison Tipped Arrow for its -2 attack to possibly save our Elestrals, and also because it's hard removal. Playing 2 copies of Shield of Achilles to bounce Elestrals back to hand, and we're playing 2 copies of Alter a Star in place of where Tsunami used to be, because water is very prevalent right now, so Tsunami doesn't really do too much. This deck kind of has a wonky spirit deck, as do a lot of the decks I build, if I'm being honest here. But we're starting off with 1 copy of Leviathan. This is solely for misenchanting your big guys to play around Tsunami. Next, we have 2 copies of Flurmine for our 1 Cryoblast, and also to misenchant our Elestrals so we can play around Cryoblast. We're playing 2 copies of Teratlus for our Earthquake. We're playing 2 copies of Vipyro for our Drake Array effect. We're playing 3 copies of Lycaris for our Sorlet effect and for our Windjin. We're playing 4 Zaptor for our Aster-Rabbit, our Zeus, and our Elichick, and we're playing 6 Luminate for the rest of the deck. What do you guys think of the deck? Let me know down in the comments below, and let me know anything that you might be interested in seeing me put together. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to like and subscribe, as I do put out content like this daily. I hope you all have a good day, and peace.